burn the boats, go all in, it's now or never, put it all in one basket. This is horrible advice that everybody gives young entrepreneurs for reasons that I understand, but to be honest with you, are catastrophically flawed. Everybody in the entrepreneurial world gives you the advice of, oh, you have to go all in, nothing's gonna work until you start completely. This needs to be your full-time job, you have to burn the boats, don't worry about a safety net. This cost me 5 years of my life, if not more. Now, the reason they give you this advice is because it's sound in a way, because they know that you're not going to actually get started until you have no other option. It's almost like an enforced level of desperation is going to ensure that you actually really start doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing. And that's true, but it's dangerous. And it's dangerous beyond measure, because if and when you fail, and the entrepreneurial journey is about failing forward, you fail without safety nets. So the first thing to understand is you need to put yourself in a position where you are going to start taking small, measurable steps forward. One of the things I like to do the most is have a partner. It's interesting because having a business partner it's an accountability measure unto itself. So you want to quit your job and your buddy Ted wants to quit his job, go be business partners with Ted. I don't anticipate that business partnership lasting, to be honest with you. Your first partnership usually falls apart. It's not that it's going to burn to the ground. You might still be friends with Ted, but it won't necessarily work the way that you think it's going to work. That's okay. What it does is it puts you into a flywheel to where you need to outrun Ted and Ted needs to outrun you. So having a business partner is a great accountability measure just to help you understand what's necessary in order to make it look like you're working to a partner that you're now accountable to. Another thing you can do if you don't want to play the business partner game, which I totally understand, is have a dedicated block of time every week. Carve out an entire day. Take your entire Saturday and commit to building your business. Here's the thing. Do things that will actually force you forward. So way too often I see people doing things like writing books, creating content, tinkering, building software. This isn't going to force you to move forward. Make cold calls, sell, build strategic partnerships, ask for the opportunity to present what you're doing to other people. I like to sell products before I have the product built. I will pre-sell a product, especially info products, but I'll pre-sell software. And it's not that I'm lying about anything. You basically approach the market and you're trying to identify the need. And then once you get somebody to buy it, you can say, awesome, we're in the incubator stage. I'm gonna let you know when this is ready. But it puts you in a position of having to move forward. The other thing I really like about that is you begin building a bridge to the destination using minimal viable product strategy. So instead of building massive infrastructure and finding out you only ever need 5 to 10% of it, you're only building the things that you need in order to continue to move forward. So do what you need to do in order to put yourself in a situation where you are committed on a recurring basis to building your business, but keep your job. Don't quit, don't blow through your savings, don't burn the boats, don't hurt your reputation, don't kill the relationships that you've worked so long to cultivate. Because here's the truth about business. It will always be harder, more expensive, and take longer than you think it will. I don't care what you're doing. You're building a professional services agency, you're starting an e-commerce store, you're building a SaaS product, doesn't matter what you're doing. You're starting a landscaping business. It's going to take longer, be more expensive, and be harder than you anticipate in the very beginning. And so really what you want to do is you want to find yourself in a position where you have a certain amount of income from, let's say, your W-2, or whatever it is that you happen to be doing. You have a certain amount of income from your W-2, and you're starting a brand new business. And as that business grows, as soon as it's able to come close to matching your W-2, that's when you can taper down on your W-2. You want to meet your income first and then drop your W-2. A lot of people like to play this game. That's a dangerous game to play too, because on this end of the fence, you're quiet quitting is what you're doing. You're taking the foot off the gas at your job, and that's dangerous because you're gonna lose that job or hurt your reputation. I do not believe in lying to your employer about having a side hustle. I also don't believe in working for an employer that doesn't allow you to have a side hustle. I think that's evil and pernicious, and people don't own you. They don't own your time outside of work. Now, if they say, don't compete with me, there's parts of that can be fair given what it is that they're teaching you or training you on or who their clients are. All that to say, my hope is that employers begin to see the value in hiring entrepreneurs. Even if they're not going to have the entrepreneur for very long, they tend to be far more functional people. And if we're going to champion that narrative together, that means that we really have to hold the line. While you're doing a W-2 or freelancing or being a contractor for somebody, make sure the work that you're delivering is quality. Here's why. It's not just to be a good person, it's also because as you start to ratchet up your freelance gig that's going to turn into your company, your strongest referral partner, as often as not, is going to come from within the confines of what you're doing now. So don't go piss in that well. Like, you really need people to know, like, and trust you. And even if you think that these two things have nothing to do with each other, it's very common for you to end up seeing some overlap, some Venn diagram overlap without even realizing it. Another thing that I like to do is make sure that the people that I'm currently working with know what it is that I'm trying to do. You'd be shocked at where your repositories of support are going to come from. People that send you clients, give you ideas, help you with projects, other employees that actually really want to see you succeed. So be vocal about what you're doing. Being vocal about what you're doing, by the way, is another way to really make sure that you're propelling yourself forward. Tell people, be public about your goals. Put it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever it is that you use. Go online and say, hey, I'm building this. I want to be launched by this time. This is the goal that I'm committed to. And it's okay if you miss it. It's okay if you fail. The day that you're supposed to launch, if you're late, go on and say, oh my goodness, I'm late. This is so much harder than I thought it would be. And by the way, it's going to be. No matter what happens, it's going to be. You don't want to put yourself in a system to where you're functioning and operating from a place of desperation. So having a reliable income on a regular basis that satiates you for the foreseeable future lets you make decisions that are intelligent. Because otherwise, if you're desperate, you take on the wrong clients. You take on the wrong vendors. You say yes to the wrong things. You don't charge enough money. You put yourself in a position of building a business that's non-functional, non-scalable, and that's a flywheel unto itself. Every bad decision you make leads to more bad decisions. You know, borrowing money, not paying a vendor on time, asking clients for things, let's say levels of grace that they don't necessarily want or need to give you. You want to believe in yourself. I absolutely agree with that approach. And you need to believe in yourself within the confines of what's reasonable and logical. Think about where the burn your boats metaphor comes from. This is Cortez landing on whatever. I went to public school, so wherever it is that he landed in the Western Hemisphere, and burning the boat so his men and soldiers couldn't go back home. It meant we're going to be successful or going to die. What's interesting about this is, first of all, he was an explorer. Second of all, he wasn't a military tactician per se, so he's not making the best decisions from a strategic perspective. What you want to do, if we're going to use this metaphor, is you want to find the place where you can really capture the beachhead. Meaning, where is it that you can get firm footing? Where is it that you can establish yourself and set up your fortress? Even if it's tiny, it's a small success that's embedded and repeatable. What you're looking for in business is repeatable success. Because one success is a flash in the pan, two might be a coincidence. But by the time you get to like, oh gosh, I've had 3 clients that have paid me for this service, my pricing's good, my fulfillment's good, my customer service is good, this feels repeatable. Now we have our beachhead. And then from our beachhead, we expand and we sort of traverse into the unknown and traverse into the forest. And again, we want to build something that can replace our W-2, and then you can slowly ratchet down your W-2. This puts you in a position of not having to exhaust your savings, which, by the way, dear God in heaven, please do not exhaust your savings. Y'all, do not build businesses that require massive upfront injections of cash. Don't do it. More often than not, you're giving that cash to somebody that's making you the product. You're not building the business, you're somebody's customer. So this is somebody that sold you on some, newfangled who-what's-it business builder thing, or it's a franchise, or it's a mechanism of wealth transfer where you are actually their customer and their business and you don't even necessarily realize it. I love businesses that can be built organically. I love businesses that can be built from the ground up. They're the only businesses I've ever been able to make function. Anytime I've thrown money at something trying to make it work, it fails miserably. I've built 6 million and multi-million-dollar businesses and a whole host of smaller businesses in my portfolio that are functionally profitable, and I do them all from the ground up. When you do it from the ground up, I have a whole video on this, by the way, on YouTube. You need to watch it. I think it ties into this really nicely. When you build businesses organically, you know that they are sound from a systems perspective. If you throw a bunch of money in advertising and you get clients out of that advertising, great. Maybe the offer works, but you don't necessarily know that the advertising is going to scale with the offer. As a matter of fact, I can tell you, as somebody who's managed $100 million in ad spend for 200 some odd clients at a time, we know for a fact that the advertising is not going to scale. So these artificially boosted businesses where you're paying for the clients, you're paying for the visibility, you're paying for the fulfillment to degrees that aren't sustainable, they won't and can't last. You want businesses that grow from the ground up. Now they take longer, obviously, but by design, it takes longer to plant a tree than it does to buy one and have it installed. But the trees that you buy and have installed, ask any arborist, those tend to die more often than not. So take your time, don't burn the boats, don't spend all your money. You don't need to do those things. You can start a business right now today, pounding the pavement. And your first business is gonna fail, statistically. That's what's gonna happen. Go get a bucket, a mop, and a squeegee from Home Depot and start washing windows. If you don't know how to run a business, do a window washing business. I swear, you think I'm kidding? I swear to God. You know how many office buildings and commercial buildings there are in every major metro with dirty windows, go start a window washing business right now just to teach yourself business, because you learn everything. You learn outreach, customer service, fulfillment, finance, P&Ls, bookkeeping, everything that sucks, employee management, and you're gonna hate it. When you're out on the corridor, which I have a video about, by the way, go watch my video on the corridor principle, you're gonna see your real opportunity, and you're gonna be able to chase that and build something better. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has, my ask of you is that you share my content, assuming that you like it and you think other people will benefit from it. And don't just share it willy-nilly, share it with context. Let people know what you liked, let them know what you didn't like. But I appreciate you watching. I'm making as many YouTube videos as I possibly can because I have the sad, pathetic personality that enjoys attention, and I wanna be YouTube famous. So I hope I get to see you in the next one, and peace.